Hey guys, I'm very glad you're here. Before we get started, let's talk about a few things to set ourselves up for success. Number one, props. So, yoga mat. By now, I think you know why a good yoga mat is really important, because whenever we get to practice and our palms or our feet get sweaty, it's really important to feel like you have a really good grip. So if you tend to really slide on your mat or you feel like your mat is not comfortable, I have a really good recommendation. Either have a towel handy so you can wipe up the sweat, or maybe use it underneath your hands, or invest in one of these traveling towel mats where you can place that on top of your mat and it has a really good grip at the bottom so the two won't slide on top of each other. It's really important that you feel very safe and secure in your practice. B, yoga blocks. They're really necessary if no matter where you are in your practice, if you're starting or if you've been practicing yoga for a very long time. There are so many poses that you tend to feel a much better alignment depending on your body and your proportion. And you feel so much better in a posture using a block. You feel different muscles, you feel different alignment, and I highly recommend it. Of course, these traditional cork blocks are much more sturdy, stable, and also if you do sweat, they tend to absorb the water very well. But if you prefer, or if you already have these squishy blocks, the plastic kinds where it's a little bit softer and maybe you feel better when you sit on them, that's also okay. And blanket, there are plenty and different types of yoga blankets. This is not one, and the reason for that is because I have really sensitive skin, so this is my hypoallergenic blanket. But if you have any kind of blanket where you feel like, again, you have a very good grip where you're not going to slide, and it's thin or thick enough for your practice, that is also perfectly fine. You don't need to spend money. You can get creative and use whatever you have in your house. Also, a bathroom towel, a large enough towel, will also do the job. And lastly, this is a yoga strap. If you don't have one, please don't buy one, because a belt, or you know those bathroom robes where you have a rope belt, those will do the job just fine. And we're going to use this in some of the shoulder openers and things of that nature. Or also when we come into leg lifts or things of that, highly recommend it. Again, use a robe, a belt, or use any kind of belt, or even a long scarf. As long as you have a good grip, you're going to be totally just fine. For today, we don't need all these fancy props, but we are going to use blocks. So if you don't have blocks, get creative. Use books or anything else that you have that could be used as a block. Grab that and meet me on the mat. And let's get started on our practice. So first things first, place a block or something else you have right in between your feet, and sit your sit bones on top of the block. I'm gonna move this way so you can see me. So my feet are gonna hug the block, and my sit bones, the last two bones at the very base of your butt, are sitting on that block, and you feel leveled. If this is too much and you feel so uncomfortable, you're always welcome to add a second block. See how that feels. Just make sure everything feels secure and stable so you're not going to slide off of anything. And take a few breaths here. If you need blanket under your knees and you have sensitive knees or sensitive ankles, feel free to place a blanket wherever you need to. But I really recommend that we come into a seat just like this, which is called Virasana. So your feet are hugged in, they're parallel, and they're hugged right by your side. Your knees are right in line with your inner hips, and you feel very secure and comfortable in your seat. And as you find your comfortable seat that works for you, let me talk to you about the second thing that's very important. This class is open to all levels. And depending on your flexibility and where you are in your yoga journey or your ability in your body today, there are certain poses that may feel very uncomfortable, or there are certain poses that may feel like, oh, this is really easy, I got this. So I ask you to please listen to your body. And if your body does not feel good in a certain pose or in a certain seat or in a certain area, listen to your body and just either come out of that pose safely or listen to any variations that I may be able to offer. And again, this is a great place to use props. So if you notice any pains in certain areas, ask yourself and say, can I use any kind of prop like a blanket under my knees or maybe blocks under my feet or under my hand to be able to do this posture better? So as always, let your body tell you what it needs to do and how it needs to move. And let your breath be your guide. So with all that said, let's find that comfortable seat. Wiggle the sit bones side to side. Your right sit bone, your left sit bone. And let those movements get a little bit more subtle. And find a place that feels like you found the center between the right and the left sit bone. So your hips feel completely leveled. You don't feel like you're tilting to the right or tilting to the left. Both sit bones feel completely leveled and relaxed. And when you find that center, notice it and see if you can ground and root yourself there. This class was designed for us to be able to find our root, focused on the root chakra. This is also a great class whenever you feel like you're overwhelmed with emotions or you're going through a very intense time of emotional or physical stress and you just need some grounding. This is a great class to come into to find that feeling of groundedness, to find that feeling of calm and finding your roots. Let's face the palms down. This is a great metaphor for grounding and finding our roots. So let's begin to set our foundation so we're able to then grow and manifest. Let us bring the palms down. Pull the shoulders down the back, find a tall seat, and find some stillness. Maybe close the eyes, and let your body sink into the support. Feel the seat bones, feel balanced. Feel your breath moving up and down the spine. And just think about the very base of your spine, your foundation, your root, the areas that are connected with the earth. Your feet, your knees, your shins, your sit bones. And just get still and get quiet. Follow the breath. Let out a long exhale. Feel the very base of your spine. Let yourself ground. And then take a deep inhale. Feel that breath coming in, expanding the chest, expanding your lungs. Feel the energy into your body. And then take a deep exhale. Beautiful. So now, bring the hands to the hips. And practice this with me. Arch your back, let your belly spill, and then tuck the pelvis so the tailbone curls under and your navel pulls into your spine. So keep going, arching and tucking. Anterior and posterior tilt. And feel the pubic bone and your tailbone doing this job. So your front bone, your pubic bone, and your tailbone are moving in and out. And find a balance in between the two, just like you did with the sit bones. So find a place that feels like the tailbone is going down, the pubic bone is going back. And once you find that space, that place of balance, stop and bring the palms down. Take a deep breath. And then on the next breath, see if you can, without moving, and you're not really going to move that much, but see if you can bring the pubic bone and the tailbone closer together. Beautiful. And then on the next breath, see if you can bring the two sit bones closer together. Take your time, breathe here. It's very subtle. It's the very start of what we call Muladhara, which is the feeling of the awakening of the root spine. So on the next exhale, bring north, south, east, west. So the sit bones, the pubic bone, and the tailbone all together into the midline. Keep that sense of Muladhara, so lifting the muscles of the very base of your spine, your bathroom, hugging into the midline and moving up. This is Muladhara. What you may hear throughout the practice us referring to it, it's the awakening of the root chakra. Take a deep breath and practice it on your own. See if you can lift it even higher, like lifting your genitals on your breath. And then release. Beautiful. So that's your root chakra. Let's take that into some movement. Bring one block with you if you can. And you're going to place that block in between your inner thighs on the skinny way. So let's come into tabletop or all fours. Knees are directly under the hips. Toes can be tucked or untucked, your choice. Wrists, palms are directly under the shoulders. Feel the shoulders opening and not sinking down. Press them out away. And imagine that long, tall spine from the tailbone, that last bone in your spine, to the very crown of your head. And then from there, keep hugging the block in between your inner thighs. Lift the tailbone up. Hammock the belly. Open the shoulders. Crown of the head goes up. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone down. Round, round, round the spine. Upper back rounds. And maybe bring the crown of the head down and look in between the knees. Inhale. Keep going on your own breath. And not only feel this movement in the pelvis, but also feel it all throughout the spine. In yogic tradition, it's believed that you're only as young as your spine. So this is a fantastic exercise to bring some flexibility into our spine. Keep on going and make sure all 10 fingers, the palms of your hands, so the inner hand, the inner circle of the hand, the space in between the index and the thumb, the inner circle of the hand is really pressing into the mat, so there's no tension into the wrist. Instead, your weight is evenly distributed all throughout the two hands. So activate the legs as you're hugging in the block. And notice how when you're activating your inner thighs, you almost feel the Muladhara, right? You feel as you're squeezing the block that you're squeezing your bathroom muscles in a way. And from here, come to neutral. Spread the fingertips nice and wide. Tuck the toes under. And hover the knees 1 inch, just a little bit from the mat. Rock the weight forward so the shoulders are right over the wrist. Hug the inner thighs in. Spin the inner thighs back so you feel the tailbone lengthening back towards the back of you. Heart reaches forward. Take a deep inhale. Exhale here. Feel the core activating. Very nice. Give me one more deep breath here. Lift the hips up and back into downward facing dog. So you can't really widen the feet because you're hugging the blocks, but you're more than welcome to have very soft bend into the knees. And feel free to reposition the hands if you need to. First, take a look at the hands. 10 fingers, the inner hand, pressing into the mat. Press the mat away so you feel that length in the spine. The spine lengthens. The sit bones go further up and back. The tailbone going up and back. And then use your Muladhara here, if you like, on your breath. And the next breath, bring the awareness to the feet. That is part of your root. So make sure that 10 toes are pressing evenly into the mat. The ball of the foot, the sides of the foot. Try to shift the weight into the heels. Even if the heels don't reach the mat, it's still okay. You can still feel with the knees bent that you're actively trying to press the weight equally into the heels. Beautiful. So you feel the backs of your legs stretching. Taking a last breath here and finding stillness. Open the mouth, exhale, ha. And this time, as you inhale, roll into plank pose, leading with the crown of the head. Find a strong, tall plank. One line of energy from the heels to the top of your head, shoulders in line with the spine, hip is in line with the spine. You keep squeezing that block. And maybe here again, that Muladhara, lengthening the tailbone towards the heels, tucking the pubic bone in, tucking the core in so your abs are on fire, chest is open, shoulders are open. You look right in front of you or down as long as the neck is in line with the spine. As you exhale, send it back to downward facing dog. Let's do that on our breath. So inhale, just like a wave moves you into plank pose. Exhale moves you back, leading with your tailbone to downward facing dog. And then begin to walk the hands towards the feet slowly, just feeling the weight distribute into the legs as you do that. And then hang here in the forward fold. Maybe grab opposite elbows, maybe let the head hang down. Bend the knees slightly, bring your belly towards your thighs. And then see if you can slowly fold deeper and deeper and deeper as you allow your sit bones to come higher and higher and higher towards the ceiling. Again, your choice. Maybe the arms are just dangling by your side, or maybe you have opposite elbows with a very soft sway from side to side. Feel the weight evenly distributed between the toes, the balls of the feet, the heels, the inner, the outer edges of the feet. And that is part of finding your root, finding your stance. Let the head get really, really, really heavy, crown of the head facing down. And if thoughts may arise, offer your thoughts from the crown of your head down into the earth. Like, I don't care, I just want to be present right now, just me and my body. Feeling a really nice and soft relaxation in the lower back. Let your spine melt down vertebrae by vertebrae. Whenever you're ready, release the arms down, bend your knees deeply, and begin to rise vertebrae by vertebrae. Tailbone begins to lengthen down towards the earth. As you keep squeezing your block, begin to build a very strong foundation from your feet, which are parallel, all the way up into your spine. Tailbone tucks down. Pubic bone goes back, belly is in, length through the side waist, shoulders roll down the back, palms open towards the front of the room. Tadasana, mountain pose. Crown of the head moving up towards the heavens as the feet ground down into the earth. Take a deep breath here. Exhale all the air out. Inhale, bring the arms up with you. High prayer. And then as you exhale, begin to fold back down. Inhale, find halfway, hands to shins, spine is tall, tailbone going back, still squeezing the block, crown of the head goes forward. Exhale and fold. Release your block here actually. Walk the hands back and find a tall plank pose. When you find your tall plank, take a deep inhale, press the mat away. And as you exhale, lower the knees, chin and the chest down, bending the elbows by your side. Inhale the heart forward. Baby cobra, shoulders go back, elbows are still by your side, feet are very active, so the feet are pressing down into the mat, especially the tops of your toes. You're using the strength of your back muscles. Shoulder heads go up and back, and tailbone lengthens towards the heels, towards the back of the room, pubic bone pressing into the mat, so you feel lengthen in the lower back. Exhale, lower the forehead down, take a breather. Next inhale, engage all those muscles, roll the shoulders up and back. Inhale the chest up, neck is in line with the spine. Baby cobra. Exhale, lower it back down. Last one on your inhale, roll up, baby cobra. As you exhale, lower back down, tuck the toes under, maybe come up to your knees first, and then send it back, downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale. Take a deep exhale. Look forward at the top of your mat. Start and exhale, bend the knees. When you're ready, at the end of your exhale, step, hop, or step by step, find your halfway. Spine is tall, shoulders are back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come rise all the way up, high prayer. Palms touch, bring the palms down the midline for namaste. Beautiful. So let's go and take a few flows. As we found our ground, this is going to be our starting position, Tadasana. Exhale all the air out, ground through the feet. Inhale, reach the arms up, palms touch. Exhale, fold over the legs, hips going up. Inhale, halfway, prepare, chest opens. As you exhale, plant the palms down, step into plank pose, take your time. Take a long inhale in a strong plank. This time, maybe bend the elbows and lower the body all the way down to the mat. Belly on the mat, tops of the toes on the mat. Bring the palms slightly lower to the lower chest. And inhale, maybe coming up into a higher cobra, only if you're ready. And slowly transition it back to downward facing dog. Taking a deep inhale. Taking a deep exhale. Guys, what we just did, that first transition of plank to baby cobra to down dog, that's our flow option 1. What we just did now, plank lowering all the way to the mat and then rising up in a cobra and back into dog, that could also be a flow option. And if you're ready for a little bit more of a challenge, inhale into plank pose, strong plank, ground through the feet. As you exhale, lower halfway, chaturanga, elbows bent by your side, and then roll over the toes. Inhale, upward facing dog. Notice that your feet are disconnected. You're only at the tops of your toes. Shoulder heads go back, chest opens. Exhale, find your down dog. Take a deep grounding breath. And exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, look forward at the top of your mat. Exhale, bend the knees deeply. Prepare. At the end of your exhale, step, hop, or jump to the front of the mat, arriving in flat back. Exhale and lower. Inhale, rise all the way up, high prayer. Bring all that energy into Namaste. Now, if you've practiced tree pose before and you feel very confident, you're more than welcome to challenge yourself and use a block. However, if you're new to this, please don't use a block and just get the position right, and next time maybe you can try it with the block. Options: feet together, or come into that same Tadasana place where the feet are completely parallel and you find your ground. Bring the hands at the heart. If you're practicing it on the block, the right leg goes on top of the block. Make sure you feel very stable and secure here as we kick it up onto our tree pose. Otherwise, feel rooted and grounded into the right leg. Hands here help us find the balance. Find a drishti, a focus point right in front of you. Chest open. Slowly pick up the left foot. Make sure the hips stay leveled so you're not tilting one way or another. The hips stay level. Beautiful. And then open out the left knee out to the side. Maybe you come into kickstand. This is great. Work on finding your balance. Maybe you bring that leg a little bit higher to your shin, avoiding the knee joint. Maybe you bring the left foot, pressing it against the right inner thigh so the left hip is open. The hips are still level, but the left hip is open. You're balancing and grounded on your right foot. Stay here, take a deep breath, really just like a strong grounded tree. Find your roots, red roots, deep into the earth. And when you feel ready and balanced, maybe slowly grow your branches. Any arm variation that works for you. Maybe you begin to blossom your branches up into the space. Maybe you come into dancing tree, challenging your balance. Maybe you look up, maybe you close the eyes. Chest open, heart open. If you lose your balance, it is totally okay. You pick it right back up. That's why we practice yoga. We challenge ourselves so we can find what works for us. What do we need to do? Which is most likely you need to reground through the standing leg. Beautiful. Last breath. Bring the hands together, palms together. Lower it down to the heart. Hug that knee in and slowly place it down. Do whatever you did on the other side. So if you use the block under the right foot, you can use the block underneath the left foot. But if you didn't, please leave the block away. Reground through the left foot this time, just like our Tadasana. Find that root, find your strong foundation. When you're ready, find that focus point. Hug the right knee up. Keep the hips leveled and squared. And then again, kickstand, option one. Bring it to the shin, avoiding the knee joint. Maybe the right foot comes into the upper left thigh. Again, listen to your body, see what works for you. Hug everything into the midline. Find your roots. Chest opens, heart opens. tailbone going down towards the earth. Maybe you begin to blossom and open your branches. Any arm variation that works for you. Maybe you challenge your balance, move the branches, little dance, shoulders down the back. The only way for us to manifest is by finding a strong, grounded foundation. Whenever you're ready, bring the palms together. Slowly bring the prayer down. Beautiful, you guys. Hug the right knee in and slowly place it down. Very nice. Come back to the top of your mat if you're not there already. And let's practice sun salutation variation B. Sit into chair pose. So sit the hips back. Imagine there's a small chair for a 5-year-old behind you. You can take a look down and make sure the knees are directly behind your toes so you're not moving into the toes. You're actually shifting the weight into the heels of the feet. Feet can be together or slightly apart, again, as long as they're parallel. And then send the tailbone down. Engage the core, Muladhara if you can. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Arms reaching up or reaching forward. Shoulders down the back. Stay here for a deep inhale. And a deep exhale. Last inhale here. Exhale, fold. Inhale halfway, prepare, shoulders open. As you exhale, step back into plank pose. And if you're ready, you're more than welcome to jump to chaturanga. Lowering, taking your vinyasa option with control. Inhale opens the heart, opens the chest. Exhale sends you back to downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale in down dog. And a deep exhale. On your inhale, lift the right leg up, 3-legged dog. You're grounded through both palms evenly as well as the left foot. Lift the right leg up. Keep the hips squared. So right foot reaching back and up, but your spine is long, your hips are square. As you exhale, hug the right knee into the chest. Come into plank pose. And then send that right leg back behind you, nice and tall, 3-legged dog. Exhale, round right knee into the nose. Imagine you are going to kiss that right, lift it a little bit higher if you can, and then step the right foot to the right thumb. Spin the back heel down. Right knee bends right over that ankle. Square the hips towards the front of the room. Maybe take a wider stance. Tailbone going down. Engage the core. Arms coming up or forward. Warrior 1. Take a deep inhale. Take a deep exhale. Inhale. Lower the hands back down to the mat. Step to plank pose. Take your vinyasa. Use your control to lower down. Inhale to open the heart, open the chest. Exhale, find downward facing dog. Next inhale, lift the left leg up, 3-legged dog. Again, ground through the right foot, through both palms. Lift that leg a little bit higher, keep squaring the hips. As you exhale, bend the left knee to the nose, round, come forward like you're in plank, but you're trying to kiss the left knee. Send it back up to 3-legged dog. Inhale. As you exhale, round, hug that knee in, trying to kiss the left knee. And then when you're ready, step the left foot to the left arm, spin the back heel down, rise into warrior 1 on the opposite side. So again, take your time, Get your foundation right. That front knee is bent 90 degrees. Hips are square towards the front of the room. Back leg is nice and strong and stable. Spinning the inner thigh up and back behind you. Tailbone going down, engage the core. Lift through the sideways. Lift the arms up. Let's stay for one breath here. As you inhale, find length. As you exhale, spin the hands back to the mat. Step back into plank pose. Take a vinyasa or meet us in downward facing dog. Inhale, opens the heart, opens the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a deep inhale. Take a deep exhale. Next breath, look forward at the top of your mat. Bend the knees, wait till the end of your exhale. Step, hop, or jump to the front of the mat, arriving in flat back. As the next breath, sit it back into chair pose, hips going back. Chest opens, Mula Bandha if you can. And then rise into Namaste. Beautiful, you guys. So what we just did, that's called Sun Salutation, Surya Namaskara B. Let's do that on the breath one more time. Sit back into chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale halfway, prepare, chest opens. Exhale, send it back to Chaturanga, lowering with control. Inhale, opens the heart, opens the chest. Exhale, sends you to downward facing dog. Find stillness, reconnect with your breath. Inhale, lift the right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, step the right foot to the right thumb. Spin the back heel down, rising into warrior one. Stay for one breath here. And hands come to the mat. Again, take a flow or meet us in downward facing dog. In down dog, take a deep cleansing breath. Lift the left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to the nose, step the left foot to the left thumb, spin the back heel down, rise, warrior one. Deep inhale, deep exhale, next inhale, rise higher. Exhale, hands to the mat. Take a flow or meet us in downward facing dog. No judgments, listen to your body. In down dog, take a deep cleansing breath. Find ground. Deep inhale and let it go. Next inhale, right leg lifts up, three-legged dog. This time, open the hips, stack hip on top of hip. And it feels good, maybe bend the right knee. So you send a deep breath, opening the right hip out to the side. Square everything back up, three-legged dog. And this time, right foot to the right thumb. Spin the back heel down, but rise up into warrior two. So the front knee is still bent 90 degrees. You're on all corners of the back foot. Hips are open to the left side of the room. Hips are still leveled, so you're not sinking in or back. Hips are leveled, tailbone going down, knee opening right on top of that ankle. Take a deep breath, find your foundation, your root first. Send the belly button in, lengthen through the sides of the waist, shoulders move down the back, open arms, oppositional forces into the arms, expands and opens the chest. Sit deeper into that front knee if you can. Gaze right over that front middle finger. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Beautiful, you guys. Last exhale, pause, inhale, flip the front palm, peaceful warrior. Imagine you're painting the sky. That backhand can fold or can relax down on the back leg. Stay here for a deep inhale. As you exhale, transition back into side angle pose. So notice that I'm using my right elbow here, my right forearm as a kickstand. This is going to help open and lift me up. If you like, you're always welcome to use a block outside of that right foot. So you can lower your palm here or to the mat and then inhale and find lift so that there is one line of energy from that back heel all the way up to the left fingertips forward. Take a deep inhale. Deep exhale, find ground, keep bending 90 degrees into that front knee. Maybe that knee comes closer towards your arm, shoulders stay open, chest open. And inhale, send it back, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, hands spin to the mat, take a flow, or meet us in downward facing dog. Take a deep cleansing breath in down dog. Whatever happened on that side, it happened. Let's give it a try on this side. Find your root, find your ground. On your next inhale, lift the left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, left foot to the left thumb. Spin the back heel down, rise up into warrior two on the other side. Again, guys, relax the arms if you first need to get the foundation right. So that knee is bent 90 degrees right over that ankle. Front foot is completely parallel to the outer edge of your mat. Entire back foot is on the mat. Ground, let your pelvis anchor down. Find your groundedness and then lift up maybe that Muladhara, shoulders relax down the back, arms open towards opposite ends. Feel the chest expand and then look right over that front middle finger. Sit a little bit deeper. Chest opens, hip open. Use your breath. Lengthen the sides of your neck, crown of the head going up. One long line of energy from the crown to the tailbone. Sit a little bit deeper. Next inhale, flip the front palm. Paint the sky with peace, peaceful warrior. Keep bending that front knee in. And you feel the stretch into the side body, peaceful warrior. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, bring the arms back into side angle pose. So again, use that block if you like here to the outside of the foot or kickstand using the elbow. One line of energy from the back heel to the top hand. Revolve the chest up towards the sky. Heart opens. Maybe gaze up, maybe gaze at the front fingertips, or if that's too much for your neck, just look forward. Belly in. One deep breath here. Next inhale, rise into warrior two. Settle in. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, hands to the mat. Let's just step to downward facing dog. Taking a deep inhale and a deep exhale. Look forward, bend the knees, step, hop, or jump to the front of the mat, arriving in flat back, shoulders back. Exhale and fold. All right, my friends, listen carefully. As you're in your fold, maybe look up. Our feet are going to be about hip width distance apart. And then we're going to use our index and our middle finger to wrap around our toes like hugging the toes with our peace fingers, making sure, again, the weight is evenly distributed. So the toes are pressing down, the heels are pressing down, and then lengthen the heart. So tailbone going back, crown of the head going forward, tall spine. As you exhale, elbows open out towards the side, and slowly sending the tailbone back, sit bones up, begin to fold down. Let the head go, maybe a slight shake, relaxing any tension in the neck. Shoulders go up and back, sit bones going up towards the sky, and crown of the head coming further down towards the earth. 2 deep breaths. Lengthen the spine. Come halfway. Come halfway, release the hands from the toes, hands to the hips. First, roll the head up so you feel that tall neck, shoulders back, and then roll up to a standing posture. Step to the front of the mat, find Tadasana. Let's take a final vinyasa. Find groundness. Let all the air out. Inhale, reach up, high prayer. Exhale, fold, hinging from the hips all the way down. Inhale halfway, shoulders back. Exhale, take a flow that works for you. Lowering with control, one strong line. Inhale, open the heart, open the chest. Exhale, send it to downward facing dog. From down dog, take deep breath in and a deep breath out. Roll into plank pose. Exactly where your wrists are, under your shoulders. See if you can lower your forearms down so the elbows are now directly under the shoulders. If you need to wiggle the feet back, and you're always welcome to lower the knees down if you really can't stay in forearm plank. Take a deep inhale, find that long line from the heels to the crown of the head. Press the mat away so the shoulders are really lifting you up. Belly is in, long waist, beautiful, long neck. Take a deep inhale. Beautiful. Exhale, stay here. And then slowly begin to walk the toes towards you, and then let the head hang down. So you're lifting from the shoulders, the crown of the head is not touching the mat. You're actively lifting yourself up and away from the mat. Walk the feet towards you, pause here, dolphin pose. Deep breaths. Whenever you're ready, walk the feet back, lower the knees down, send it to child's pose. So widen the knees out to the side, toes come together. You can press yourself so the hips find the heels, lower the forehead down, pause here. Always welcome to wrap the arms back by your side. Remember, this pose is always available for you. Whenever you need to take a breather, or whenever you need to find groundedness. You can use the palms to help press and lift you back up. Come to take a seat in the middle of the mat, preparing us for our bridge pose. Bring the feet closer to you. Before you lower down, please make sure that the feet are hip-width distance apart. Toes pointing forward and feet are completely parallel. Keeping the knees bent, lower yourself onto the mat. And here, I really like us to bring our awareness to our neck. As we relax the spine down, maybe tuck the shoulder blades down beneath you. Palms can be on the mat. Let's do two things. Slowly, just wiggle the head side to side. Find a place that feels like a strong and tall neck for you. Keep that tall neck. Press the back of the head down towards the earth. So the neck is always feeling lifted and relaxed. Number 2, lift the tailbone up. Lengthen the tailbone towards the wall in front of you so the spine lengthens, and then slowly bring it back down. Check in with yourself, see if you need to walk the feet slightly closer towards your hip points, sit bones. And when you're ready, tuck the tailbone in, lift the hips up, using the strength of your feet pressing into the mat. Using your inner thighs, and then as you exhale, lower the spine vertebrae by vertebrae back down. Let's do that again on the breath. Inhale, lift up, use the tension of the feet pressing into the mat to lift your hips as high as you can. And then as you exhale, lower back down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Last breath, inhale. This time, if you can, keep the hips lifted, elevated, as high as you possibly can, using the strength of your feet. And then walk the shoulders underneath you even more. Clasp the hands if it's available to you, so the palms of the hands come together. And then walk the shoulders so much in, so the shoulder heads become the other feet of your bridge. So the inner feet, the feet are pressing into the mat to lift you up, shins pressing back, hips are elevated, shoulders are pressing down, neck is tall. 2 deep breaths here. And whenever you're ready to come down, slowly lower the hips back down. And release the arms underneath you. Maybe knock the knees in, open the feet wide, and just rest here for just a moment. See what it feels like to feel grounded, yet elevate yourself away from the mat. Guys, you're more than welcome to come into another round of bridge or kick it up to a wheel. You can also come into bridge with a block squeeze in your inner thigh. Trust me, it's really gonna work your core as well as your inner thighs. If you like to practice the wheel, bring your palms on the mat with the fingertips facing your shoulders. The most important thing is that the elbows stay here by your side, so you're not going to let the elbows spill out to the side. And keeping the elbows lifted on top of the shoulders, walking the feet closer towards the hips. First, lift the hips up and come up to the crown of your head. When you feel grounded and stable and ready to send it up, you can lift it up slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. You can also practice coming onto your toes if you like, or lifting the chest forward up, or lifting the chest further back, strengthening your arms. And whenever you're ready, tuck the chin in, slowly come down and take a breather. Beautiful, you guys. Whenever you're ready, let's hug the knees into the chest. You can hug underneath the thighs, or you can grab the shins, up to you. And sometimes it feels good to rock side to side, like a gentle massage for the lower back. If you like to come into happy baby by grabbing the outer edges of the feet from the inside and then opening the feet up towards the sky, shoulders relax down, neck is tall. If it feels good, again, feel free to rock the baby, roll side to side. Or maybe you prefer to straighten the legs and feel the stretch here. Listen to your body, any other stretches or poses that you need to do, give it that. And whenever you're ready, bring the knees back together, feet together. Knees on top of our hips. Let's open the arms out to the side. So whatever helps you to ground the shoulder blades down the back. Glue the shoulder blades into the mat. And slowly begin to, as you exhale, let the knees and the feet drop over to the right side, looking over the left, not letting the left shoulder blades move up. Gentle spinal twist. Take 3 long breaths on this side. When you're ready, bring the feet back into the middle. If you need to wiggle the hips side to side, you're more than welcome to. And then when you're ready, allow for the knees and the feet to go over towards the left side as you look over towards the right. Again, a very gentle twist for the spine, anchoring the shoulder down. So finding some ground into the upper body, just like we did into the lower body. When you're done, if you like to hug the knees in one last time, or any other stretches before our final Shavasana, final relaxation pose, give yourself that. And when you're ready, you're more than welcome to use any props you like, maybe a blanket under your knees, or blocks under your thighs. The feet can be as wide as your mat or even wider. And sometimes I like to sort of shake them in and out to find a place that feels really releasing for the hips. Get the feet and the hips, the knees, the thighs relaxed down and anchored down. And then maybe the shoulder blades walk underneath you so the chest remains open as you lay the body weight on top of the mat. Palms open towards the sky to receive energy as you rest in the final Shavasana pose. Take a deep inhale. Close the eyes, open the mouth, let it go. Let your practice dissolve. And begin to feel your body completely supported by the Mother Earth, completely connected with its roots, completely grounded, feeling safe, grounded, and relaxed. Slowly begin to deepen the breath, waking up the body from the inside, and then wiggling the fingertips, maybe pointing and flexing the feet, maybe some wrist rolls to wake up the body, introduce some small movements back into the body. And if you're ready, lengthen. Take a stretch like you were just waking up in the morning. Arms long above head, and maybe some side stretches. Maybe hugging the knees in one last time, rounding up into a ball. And then ask yourself if you want to come to lie on the right side or the left side. Choose the side that feels good and is calling you. Pause there in a fetal position. As yogis, we rise from the mat, off the mat, using your top hand. Press yourself up, keeping the eyes closed or maybe the gaze soft. Find a comfortable seated position that feels comfortable and natural to you. Again, find that balance between the sit bones. Find groundedness, the center, the middle. Find that tall spine. And pause for just a minute. Check in with yourself. How is your body? How is your breath? Did you find groundedness? Did you find calmness? Were you able to let go? And just notice any feelings, any thoughts. Allow your body to communicate with you. And whatever came up, see if you can find a bit of compassion or a bit of gratefulness that you can take away from your mat today. Anything that the practice taught you, anything you want to take away from your practice today. With that said, let's bring our hands to prayer, thumbs connected with the heart, palms pressing into each other at our hearts, thanking ourselves for doing something so good for our body, so good for our mind, so good for our nervous system. The light within me sees and honors the light within each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you guys. If you have any questions for me, let me know, and I hope to see you very soon.